Welcome to the Daily Elevated Show. I am Fabian Garcia. Elon Musk has had a $55 billion bonus rejected by a Delaware bureaucrat who was posing as a judge. $55 billion. This has very deep ramifications for capitalism in general, and we're going to talk about that. Next up is the RNC is $10 million short of where they need to be. So they are getting a loan of $10 million and they are funding it and collateralizing it with the money of poor people. This is RNC. So first, I do want to say that if you're not following us on social media, make sure you do. The Breakaway Instagram, Breakaway USA Instagram is breakaway_USA on all socials. My personal socials are Fabian Lux, Luxe. And on X, it's going to be Fabian_1776. So be sure that you add us. Be sure that you share it with your friends because it really helps get the word out. Since we do zero marketing, it's all word of mouth and share it. So Elon Musk tweeted, "Don't incorporate in Delaware." And then he urged companies in a separate tweet to get your company out of Delaware before they lock it down. What does he mean by that? Well, back when Tesla was a $60 billion company, they wanted to figure out how to take it to a $600 billion company. And Elon Musk was the only man who could do it. So the board of directors got together and instituted this crazy bonus plan, or it's more of an income package, if you want to call it that. But what they did is they said, if you can take this company from 60 billion to 600 billion, you will get a package worth $55 billion. Now, this is the largest package that has ever been agreed upon by a board for one of its CEOs. And the fact that it was Elon Musk doing this had some people laughing that it would never happen. But Elon Musk made it happen. He took Tesla to a $600 billion company, and he should be awarded what he should be awarded because he was approved by the board of directors. Well, in Delaware, which you may or may not know, is one of the most popular states for incorporating an LLC up until yesterday. I personally have an LLC in Delaware. It's just where you go. Well, a magistrate, I believe that's what they call them in Delaware, a magistrate, basically a judge, ruled that the package that they gave Elon Musk wasn't done the right way. So he is nullifying this $55 billion package that Elon Musk is supposed to get. Now, why would you think that a judge, or in this case, a bureaucrat, would do such a thing? Well, it's not hard to fathom that Elon Musk is not in the best graces of this administration. In fact, they have actively sued him for not hiring enough illegal immigrants, if you could believe that. Elon Musk is being sued because apparently he's not hiring enough illegal immigrants at Tesla. He wasn't invited to a meeting of all the heads of EV companies. All the heads of the electric vehicle makers went to Washington, D.C., the White House, to meet with the president. And surprise, surprise, out of all of the EVs, the only one that actually has sold anything, Elon Musk, was not invited. Elon Musk has been mentioned as a threat to national security by some people in the government. He has had his subsidies removed from various companies. He is public enemy number one because of the fact that he bought X and he allowed it to be free. So he bought a platform in X with his own money that was failing. And he decided to do something crazy, which is allow people for the freedom of speech. Crazy concept, isn't it? Well, the government clearly doesn't like that. There are numerous other governments around the world that are threatening to remove Twitter or X off of their own internet because Elon Musk is not adhering to what they want them to do. So the fact that now this judge is nullifying Elon Musk's $55 billion incentive package that he worked for, that he turned Tesla into a $600 billion company down from a $60 billion company, should tell you all you need to know about how politics is played at the highest level. Now, he has to take this to the Supreme Court of Delaware to have that rectified. And if it's not rectified, he has to take it as high as he can to get this fixed. Now, the reason why it's very detrimental to capitalism is because you have a independent board of directors who make a decision on how to make the company grow and where to place your chips and what to bet on. And a judge can say no. Do you understand how this interferes with capitalism? You know, Javier Milei is one of the big proponents of the people who say that in a free market, in a truly free market, there would be no monopolies. And stagnation and inefficiency only comes into the market because of the fact that the government puts their hands in it, because the government puts tons of regulations and red tape in businesses, therefore tying the hands of the business to do what they need to do. which is create the most efficient, lowest cost, and best product for the customer. Otherwise, someone else will do that and they will lose their market share and they will lose their company. So if Elon Musk has done this marvelous thing in turning 10xing a company that was already $60 billion that he built, that he founded, the product that he made, it wasn't like a CEO that was coming into an already existing company with an already existing portfolio of products, with an already existing investor base. This is not like that. This is literally Elon Musk starting this thing, designing the car to whatever capacity that is, and making it what it is. So to think that a judge, one single person, can nullify what an executive board decided to do is a very massive threat to capitalism, individuality, privacy, a number of different things. And they're not supposed to interfere in the matters of business unless there was something illegal or wrong happening. So this is a very big case for capitalism. Elon Musk has now adhered, or not admonished, not adhered, but he's advised everybody to get their LLCs out of Delaware. Now, what does that do for Delaware? Well, if people start pulling their LLCs out of Delaware, well, then Delaware loses a lot of income. I mean, a lot of income. Delaware is a tiny state. Imagine how much is generated from having all of these LLCs registered in their states. And that's what states do. They attempt to go get business by giving them leniency, right? I mean, Georgia has captured a large part of the Hollywood movie production market by relaxing regulations in their area. So now tons of movies are filmed in Georgia. That's what you do. In order to get business, you relax a regulation. Isn't it crazy that all you have to do to allow free market capitalism to be free market capitalism and make money for everybody is to relax regulations? Isn't that odd? California is the opposite. It's one of the most expensive places, probably the most expensive place in the world to create movies. So Elon Musk is now fighting with the Delaware court, and the Delaware court is, I'm sure, a proxy of this administration, as we have seen with the court system and the justice system, for that matter, going after people who don't agree with the current policies of this administration. It's sad to see, but I can't wait until Elon Musk is validated again, this time by the court system. It's just another in the long strings of abuses and just overuses of power by government officials, by the administration, by people in politics and in the public eye. And it's just sad that it has to happen like this. But this is the world that we're living in, and this is how it has to happen. Now, second, Ronna McDaniel, who still will not step down, even though she's had overwhelming calls from people from all areas of the country to step down because she is very inept at doing her job and will not step down, now has another problem on her hands. And that problem is money. Whenever a business is not doing well, the last thing you'd want to do is buy more of their stock because they're just not doing a good job. Whoever's directing the company is not doing a good job. Typically, when a CEO does a bad job, they resign and a new person comes in to try to right the ship. Well, in this case, Ronna McDaniel, who is the head of the Republican National Committee, the RNC, will not step down after calls from Vivek, after calls from everyone basically telling her to step down because she's done such a horrible job. They kept losing. The red wave that was supposed to come never came. She hasn't done a good job. And if people see that a company is not doing well, like I said, they're not going to buy stock in it. And in this case, in politics, that means that no one's going to donate money to the RNC. And that's exactly what has happened. The RNC in 2020 was at approximately $747 million in 2020. You know how much it is now? $87 million. $87 million, it's all that's been given to the Republican National Committee for getting Republicans elected. This is their job. This body is supposed to take money or have money donated and then spend it wisely, helping races all across the country, help propel candidates to get elected, help register voters, help get out the vote, make sure all the voters go to vote. This is the job of the RNC. And under Ronna McDaniel, it's become a joke, and people just aren't giving it money anymore. They are literally refusing. Donors are refusing to give it money. And it makes sense. Why would you give your money to something that's not working? And now, as of today, the budget came out, or rather the expenditures of the RNC. And someone compared the budget of the RNC to the DNC. And they are spending, the DNC is spending vastly more money on things that matter. Things like get out the vote. Things like text messaging to people. Meanwhile, the RNC is spending millions of dollars on literally limousines, flowers. I mean, it's just absurd. And now because they have such a massive shortfall of donations coming in, they have to go get a line of credit. So they have to literally go and get some credit. So they have to go get a credit card of $10 million. And what do? Well, their cringy email marketing, or their cringy marketers, whoever's in charge of that, is sending out emails to borrowers offering them a fake Republican advisory board card if they donate. So they're sending out emails to everyone saying, you've been selected to join the Republican Advisory Board, whatever the hell that is. It's just completely made up. They have a picture. It's not a real card. It's a 3D representation of a card in a graphic that's in the email that says, we can hold it for you for the next hour. Now, if that's not violating tons of different practices when it comes to advertising, then I don't know what is. But I worked in mortgage for 9 years, and they were very specific as to what you could say during advertisement so that it's not considered leading the customer astray. Anyway, they sent out these emails, and apparently it's going out to some of the poorest voters. So they essentially are trying to collateralize the line of credit of $10 million with donations, telling people that they're going to be on an advisory board of the Republican Party. Imagine that. Imagine that. So an RNC that is making zero money, that has to go get credit, that is collateralizing that line of credit with money that they're trying to get. The reason why they say we can hold your card for the next hour is because this is a scarcity email that's being sent out. And I love how Tyler Boyer specifically talks about this in his Twitter post, that they are essentially trying to dupe people out of their money by offering them this fake advisory board position through an email as if they've been chosen. Like there's some special people that have been chosen, but they only have 1 hour to donate this money or else it's gone. That's a scarcity email, right? In marketing, it's called scarcity. It's only around for a little bit of time. So it's meant to get people to act. And if they're actively trying to get this line of credit, which they probably need, because I read that they only have about $1 million in the bank left, which is absolutely horrendous, then they need to get this money fast. And that's the reason for that scarcity email. It's sad what they're doing, but it's even sadder why they have to do it. If you didn't have such an inept person at the helm in Ronna McDaniel, who people refuse to give money to, who members, voting members don't like, who's only in the position because of nepotism, and clearly has not been doing a good job because her history is a failure and failure and failure, just step down. Put your ego to the side. This is a problem with the Uniparty, which is the Republicans and Democrats. This is why I'm registered independent, because I don't support any party. I support the American people. And it's absolute stupidity to think that there is an organization that is made up of nepotism, like the RNC, that has had his hands so casually washed in money over and over again that they think that they can just do anything and get away with it. Meanwhile, they're losing and they're losing, but they're trying to make as much money to secure their fat pockets as they can before the reckoning comes. And the reckoning is knocking on their door. People like Turning Point, which have a fantastic organization, which essentially are the de facto RNC now. They are turning into de facto RNC. Their ground game is much better. Their ability to identify with voters is much better. They are doing everything the RNC should be doing. Now, this is a capitalist country, right? Or supposed to be, at least. So if you have a competitor that's doing something better than you, you have two options. Either you shut your doors, you try to buy the competitor. Actually, you have more than two options. Or you try to do what they're doing, because clearly they've proven something in the market that's working. So why would you not try to copy your competitor, especially when you're the big dog and your competitor is just devouring the market share day by day by day? And if you look at the people, no one is excited about the RNC right now. I've spoken to zero people, absolutely zero people who are excited about anything that they're doing. What you have in there is and I've been to some of these breakout sessions where some of the members of the RNC are speaking out about it and saying, we need to change things, because if not, bad things are going to happen and Democrats are going to win again. So the election is in November. It is now February. That doesn't leave that long of a time to get a ground game in order, to get people that are watching the votes being counted, that are at the registrar's office, making sure that there's no suspicious packages coming in, suspicious briefcase coming in at 4 a.m. that make suspicious votes appear out of nowhere at 4 a.m. And all those people that are there that are fattening their pockets, it may be great for them because they're getting the benefit of whatever trickle of money is still coming in. But for the American people, it's an absolute disaster. It's a dumpster fire. It's a hole at the bottom of the ship that cannot be plugged. What do you need to do? You need to change the captain. You need to change the CEO. You need to change the person who is in charge of everything, named specifically Ronna McDaniel. So Ronna McDaniel needs to resign.